It's crazy what you see a nigga do when you get the bag.
Hey YouTube, my name is Elijah, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. In fact, like a few days ago, I kept on doing this video over and over because I just wanted to be perfect, because I felt like it was a very important video. So, what is this video I'm talking about? In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I got a full scholarship to the school of my dreams. Now, that's the same name of my caption. So you're probably wondering what school I'm talking about. So let's get some statistics. So there's about more than 5,000 schools in the United States. The school that I'm going to is in the 30s. So for me, it was a really big deal. All right, so on March 28th of 2019, I opened my acceptance letter to New York University. And I was scared. Let me just say, I was extremely scared because I didn't really think I would get in. I didn't believe that I know I had good grades and stuff, but I didn't believe I really had what it takes to get into NYU. But I opened my acceptance letter and it said, "We are proud to offer you admission to the NYU class of 2023 or something like that." And I almost I almost shitted myself and stuff because I was just so shook. And I went on to read the acceptance letter, and they told me a link I could go to check my financial aid, and I found out that I got a full scholarship too. So it was a big deal to me, like I said before, and I'm very proud of my accomplishments. And for me, I'm not the type of person to keep my accomplishments to myself. I want as many other people, even if I don't know you, to also be able to experience the same thing I'm experiencing. So that's why I decided to make this video. So if you keep watching, you'll see how I did it. I'll give you some tips, some advice, I'll give you some statistics and background about myself, so you guys know where I was standing and how that got me into the school. I'll also be talking about the specific school within NYU that I'm going to, and I totally 100% recommend applying for this school. So let's get to the video. Alright, I say so a lot, but there's a few, I'd say there's 5 or 4 things that I want to highlight throughout this video, and it's going to be my main points. So let's say this. The college application process, I feel it has 5 important things: your college essay, which is your personal statement; your supplements, which is the essays that you use to get into the college. It's basically an essay about why you want to go to that school specifically; your grades, your extracurricular, and your SAT scores. So that's why I feel the 5 most important things about your application. So I'm going to be going through now a little bit about myself in relation to those topics. So I'm going to start with grades. So I went through my 4 years of high school as a almost straight A student. I had, over 90s in all of my classes. I took college classes. I took 1 AP class in my senior year. I really worked hard, and that's how I was able to achieve such high grades. I walked out as a senior with a 97.6 or 97.8 average. As a junior, the year that really counts, I had a 97.25 average. I took all of my usual classes. I wasn't even accelerated in math at all. I didn't some people, they take geometry in 9th grade, and then by the time they're a senior, they're already in calculus 2 or 3. I wasn't one of those people. As a senior, I only took pre-calculus and calculus 1, so I wasn't accelerated in math in any way. Before 12th grade, I had never taken any AP classes. What did give me an edge is that my school was an early college school, so we got to take classes at a community college, and we got college credits, and I exceeded in those classes as well. They were actually pretty easy in my opinion, but they were a little challenging at times because it was a lot of writing. Yeah, so I just worked hard. I studied a lot. I didn't play any games. I set aside time to study. I set aside time to do my homework, and I was able to accomplish being such a great student. And I also, not to toot my horn or whatever, but I came out of my school with the award for the seniors, my school gave a specific award to one person who they felt deserved it. It was decided by like the principals, the teachers, and everybody, and I happened to get that award. So I was like, me, my parents, and my family was really proud of me for my work I accomplished this year. So that's great. Next, SAT scores. So I could say that I could have done way better on the SAT. My score was a 1290, which for some people is really high. Some people think it's low. I think I did okay. Like I said, I could have done better, but I definitely could have done worse too. So again, I'm proud of myself. A little background about my SAT. I did have SAT prep course. It was like in a classroom setting, so it wasn't like individualized help. So I guess if I had more individualized help and it wasn't once a week, I guess I could have gotten a better score. But I must say that I also use Khan Academy. So this is like this secret little tip that really nobody knows about. Khan Academy has free SAT prep courses and stuff. So I did that. I didn't do it as much as I could have, but I did use that a lot on my free time, which really helped increase my score. When I took my PSAT, I only had a 1050, and then when I took my SAT, I got like an 1150, and then I got a 1290 the last time. So that's my SAT. My college essay. So I did this on my personal statement. I did this on a really personal topic, so I'm not going to share too much information about it. But I must say that like I feel like I did a really excellent job. My college advisor, her name is Miss Solomon. That's a shout out. She really helped me like how my essay progressed throughout like the few months I was working on it, and I was really proud of my final topic. It was like almost exactly 650 words, which is the limit. And I told a story basically, but I also talked about like my grades just a bit, and also related it like my story, my obstacle, to the job I wanted to do, to my career as a dancer, and just to my life in general. So yeah, I'll be talking a little bit more about that later. Alright, next. Supplement. My supplement for NYU, there's nothing like special I can say. But it was just a regular supplement. Why I wanted to go into the school. Again, in my tips and advice section, I'll be talking about that more. And it was like a 400-word essay, and they basically asked why NYU. That's that. And extracurricular, so I'm a dancer. So most of my extracurricular activities had to do with dance. I was in cheerleading. I was on stage as a dancer in my school. I did dance classes on the side. I did gymnastics classes. I actually volunteered at my dance school. So all of my stuff really had to do with dance. And later in the video, you guys will see why I think that was a very important decision of mine. So yeah. I think I about went through the 5 things. So now I'm going to give some tips and advice. So I think I messed up. I might have said that before. Anyways, yeah. So this is my tips and advice section. So now I'm going to be giving like a couple of tips for each section that I feel really helped me succeed in getting accepted to the school, to NYU. So let's get started. So let's start with like I'll try to go in the same order I did before. So grades. Alright, my biggest tip is to study. Like for me, something that was really hard but was trying to manage a social life, my extracurricular activities in school and church and all these things at the same time. But you have to be motivated. I was very self-motivated. I knew that, sometimes I had to turn down a call. I had to say, no, I can't go out this weekend, because I felt like studying and doing my homework was way more important. I used flashcards. I made study guides on Google Docs. I communicated with friends when I had a problem. I talked to my teachers in office hours and stuff. I just did everything I could to stay on top of my game. Even in school, I was doing homework in the hallway when I was bored. So I just stayed on top of my game throughout the whole entire 4 years, throughout the whole entire year of my senior year, my junior year. Every single year, I was on top of my game. Another thing, I didn't put myself in the hardest classes either. I knew that 11th grade year was important. I knew that I had to get good grades. And although I didn't necessarily choose my schedule, I knew that if my teacher put me in a class that I thought I couldn't handle, I wasn't going to do it. Perfect example. In 11th grade, I took physics. and my teacher had also put AP Psychology on my schedule, and I was like, I can't handle both classes at the same time. I'm gonna stress myself. I could just take AP Psychology next year. So that's what I did, and I managed getting an A in physics, and the next year I managed getting an A in AP Psych. So this is like smart decision you're gonna have to make, because you want to do the best you can in these courses, especially in your junior year. Do the best you can. Even if that means like me turning down a few challenging courses, that's fine. But also at the same time, you have to have some hard courses, because the schools are looking for that. Not only are you getting A's, but you're getting A's in classes that are not just easy classes. They want to see that you're challenging yourself just a little bit, but not too much that you stress yourself out either. So that's really important. So again, do your very best your junior year. And also, besides academics, you have to make sure you have a little bit of extracurricular activities. They don't want to see that you're just focusing on school the whole entire 4 years. They want to see that you're doing stuff that is out of your comfort zone. So next, because it kind of flows, I'm going to go into extracurricular activities. So my tips for this section is that you find a niche or a hobby or something that you like to do, and find as many activities in your school or outside of your school that might relate to that. So what do I mean? My teacher in like 9th or 10th grade, my principal told me, she was like, they don't want to see that you're jumping from this club to this club to this club to this club. They want to see that you have a focus. They want to see that you have a path. So if you can find one thing, mine was dance. If you could find one thing that you like to do, theater, soccer, something that you can like join many different activities based on that hobby, if that makes sense, do that. So for me, again, dance was my thing. So I was in a sing thing, which was like where I could perform as a dancer on stage. I was a cheerleader, dancing, gymnastics, so kind of like a form of dance in a way. I did dance outside of school. So I think NYU really liked that I had this dance like passion, and I continued that throughout my high school career. So that was a good thing. So next, that's one of my biggest advice for extracurricular activities. Just find something you can do, and also show that you're also volunteering and that you care about your community. My volunteers also subsequently had to do with dancing too. So I don't know if you can say I'm obsessed or whatever, but I just love dancing. Alright, so I think another topic that flows right into this, like the whole dance thing, is my college essay. So my college essay, again, I did an obstacle, but I also tried to find a way to make my college essay also about my passion. So first, this might be kind of hard for some people, but for me, my topic, it kind of flowed. I was even able, like I said before, to include like my career in there too, my career path, and everything just came together at the end. So I do have more tips for the college, your personal statement. So try to get as close to 650 words as possible. Don't do like 500 words, but at the same time, don't go over. Like, try to be as close to 650. Make everything flow. Make everything make sense. If you saw that meme, make it make sense, because you don't want to be jumping from one thing to another. They want to see cohesion. They want to see that everything flows. So I did like a lesson. I didn't want the people who are reading my essay to be bored. I wanted them to actually be engaged and actually like see my story. So I like used like analogy at the beginning, and then throughout the whole essay I kept on bringing it up, and at the end everything just came together. And very importantly, they want to see stuff that is not included in your application. I cannot stress this enough. That is not included. They see your application. 90% of your application is about your academics, about the stuff that you do inside of school, your grades and stuff. So they don't really want to see that in your essay. They want to see something unique. They want to see something that they can't find anywhere else. They want to learn about you. They want to get to know you as a person. Not that it matters, not that they care that much, but for getting into school, it's very important. So talking about this being you topic, my teacher told me that something that I also found was very helpful: vulnerability. They want to see that you're vulnerable, but not too vulnerable. So let's say vulnerability was on a scale from 1 to 10. My teacher said be about a 7. So don't give away too little, but at the same time, don't also give away too much, because like my topic, I could have went very in depth. That would have put me at like a 10, which would be bad in a way. But I was at a 7. I knew what to say, what not to say, but also I didn't fake it. So if you're the kind of person, you don't use big words, you might not like talk in a certain way, don't try to be that in your essay. To be as you can. They're gonna love you anyway. So just be yourself. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Just be yourself. Like, don't use like 10 big words. I probably use maybe 4. So don't stress trying to sound like this big intellectual because you feel that that's gonna make them accept you. It's really not. Another thing, don't mention things. This was one of, like, I saw this tip everywhere. Don't mention things that the school already knows about itself. So let's say NYU. I'm not gonna say I want to go to NYU because it's in the middle of the city. They know that. Too many people have written about that. Oh, I want to go to Yale because it's an Ivy League, it's a prestigious university. They know that already. They work for the school. They don't want to see that. They want to see that you've done research. They want to see that you've put in time to research the school and you really know a lot of things, especially pertaining to what you want to do in that school. So for me, I want to study psychology and engineering. So I made sure that I looked on NYU's course catalog, and I made sure that I included, I want to take this professor, I want to take this class because I feel like it would help me. Like, all that stuff is very important. So I included maybe like 2 professors, 2 classes that I want to take, and I also included like these different clubs that I wanted to join. Really do your research. Just, yeah. I think that's about it for my college, the essay part. Oh yeah, so a big tip I can give you, I think there's this guy, I believe his name is the college essay guy, and my college advisor, she at my school, she gave us like links and like resources from his website. So he has like this whole website, this whole book about college essays specifically, and it helped me tremendously. He gave so many good tips and advice for my essay, and if you saw my essay before I used him and my teacher, my college advisor, and after, it's like night and day, honestly. So yeah, I just say the personal statement is very important, so do the best you can in that. One more thing about this topic, be unique. Like, I remember that one of my teachers said he wrote his college personal statement about a sport. Like, there's so many different options. So yeah. Next, SAT scores. So did I go through this? No, I didn't do tips for this. So Khan Academy, that's like my biggest tips for SAT scores, honestly. Khan Academy and practicing, because Khan Academy, it has free practice tests, free practice questions, it gives you feedback. It's just perfect, and it's free. That's the biggest thing. It's free. So definitely take time. My friend, her name is Stacey Chen, she told me her tip to getting over 1400 on SAT was 30 minutes a day of Khan Academy. And after I heard that advice, I did that. I tried to go 15-30 minutes a day on that website, and I must say that my score did increase. And if you don't have money for an SAT tutor or whatever, Khan Academy is perfect. And if you do have money for SAT prep, absolutely use that. Get an SAT book. I also have one of those, a big book, probably around like $20-$30, but it's totally worth it. Try to go through the whole book. You don't have to do every single practice question, but get through a lot of it. So for the most part, supplements. So I know I did supplements already. Yeah, I definitely did supplements. So that's it for basically my tips. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit about me and my journey at NYU going forward.
It's crazy what you see a nigga do when you get the bag. When you